Let's talk about waste in our cafeterias. Have you ever noticed how much food and milk are thrown away? Did you know it ends up at our local landfill? Have you ever thought about ways that we can reduce this?
Here in the Wake County Public School System, our Child Nutrition Services Department and our Sustainability Coordinator have created this video so we can send less waste to the landfill.
In a recent school waste audit, the amount of uneaten food and unopened milk tossed was staggering. We want you to have a nutritious, filling meal so you are full, energized, and ready to learn. However, we can work to reduce waste, starting at the lunch line.
There are 5 components always offered for lunch in your cafeteria. They are protein, such as chicken and hamburger, and alternative proteins including hummus, yogurt, cheese, and veggie burger. Vegetable options include beans, coleslaw, salsa, and potatoes. Of course, there is milk. Fruits, such as whole fruits, packaged fruits, or juice, and slushies. Grain examples are pasta, crackers, pizza crust, and breadings such as on a corn dog.
We make sure to offer options from each of these groups at every lunch. We want you to choose items that you plan to eat or drink. You are not required to have all 5 components. According to the USDA guidelines for a reimbursable meal, the minimum meal must have at least 1 serving of a fruit or a vegetable and 2 other components. Sometimes, a menu item can be a combination, like a chicken sandwich or a pizza. Both contain a protein and a grain, so they count as 2 components. Let's look at some examples to see if they meet the minimum components for a reimbursable meal.
How about this meal? Yes, this is a complete meal with at least 3 components, 1 being a fruit or vegetable.
How about now? Did you say yes again? You're right. Remember, students do not have to have milk. The meal still has the minimum of 3 components. The chicken is the protein, the bun is the grain, and the orange is the fruit.
What do you think about this? Does it have at least 3 components, 1 being a fruit or a vegetable? It sure does, so this is considered a complete meal for the purpose of a meal reimbursement.
Okay, are you ready for a tricky one? The parfait. It has yogurt, which is an alternative protein. It has a granola, a grain, and a fruit. So yes, even though it's only 1 item, it contains all 3 components.
And remember, you can choose a fruit or a vegetable. You do not have to have both. Of course, you can take both if you're planning to eat them, but what if you get full and can't finish everything, or you run out of time? Or what if you choose a pre-packaged box that comes with items you might not want?
Does your school have the SHARE program? If so, approved foods and drinks from the school cafeteria that aren't opened can be donated to help feed other students and not end up in the landfill. For example, every item in this hummus box could be placed on the SHARE cart. You can access items during the meal or from the fridge and pantry cart in the designated location at your school.
Now let's think about some of the other ways we can reduce waste in the cafeteria. You should take only the condiments you need so you are not wasting them. And only get a silverware packet if you need a fork or spoon for the meal on your tray. Look for these items at the end of the line so you know what you need and are not wasteful.
Do you drink water during lunch? Do you have a reusable water bottle? If so, do you bring it to lunch? That's a great way to reduce waste, to refill your reusable water bottle instead of using a single-use plastic cup that ends up in the trash.
Speaking of trash, have you noticed how fast the trash fills up? When trays are just tossed in, it doesn't take long. As a solution, many schools stack trays to reduce the space they take up in the trash. This reduces the number of plastic bags being used, so less bags are ending up in the landfill.
Also, did you notice the recyclable cans and bottles being thrown away? We encourage all schools to have a recycling bin in the cafeteria to collect those items so they can be recycled and made into new materials.
We have some schools that are using a sink to pour out liquids. This keeps all that milk and juice out of the trash. Lastly, some schools are composting food scraps and even using fiber trays that are compostable.
We challenge each of you to consider how you can reduce your waste and take action. Many resources, including water, energy, and land, are used to grow, produce, and transport our food from the farm to your fork. Thank you for doing your part to stop wasting food and drinks and working to reduce what's headed to the landfill. Stay tuned if you'd like to practice a few more meal examples.